Hey love bugs, and welcome back to my channel. I hope y'all are having a lovely day. I'm I'm getting there. I'm trying to have a lovely day, but there's just been a lot of ish going on. So today I am back with another natural hair review. I told you guys I'm trying to get back into reviewing products. I had this for a while. Quite a few people were asking me about it, and I kind of just forgot that I owned it. So today we're going to be reviewing the Juicy Curls styling gel from She Sent It. This is their second to newest styler. They recently released a collection that I do plan on picking up. I haven't picked it up yet, but I do plan on getting it. So they do have that out, but this released last year around this time, and this is the companion styler to the existing Juicy Curls collection. Now, if you watch me, you know I already have a video on the Juicy Curls collection using all of the previously existing products. So I will put that in a link somewhere, try to remember to link it, all that good stuff for you. I know that you guys are probably looking at my hair and saying okay, Brie, it must be bad. It's not, your hair is not out. And the only reason my hair isn't out is just because I've just been having a rough time. If you don't follow me on Instagram or you haven't seen any of my community tab posts, then you don't know that I recently had to put my oldest cat, Z, down. She was 19 years old and she was having a really, really difficult time. And there just wasn't any option. There just wasn't anything else that we could do for her. And it really just kind of came out of left field and we weren't really prepared for it. And anyone who's had a pet, especially had a pet for as long as we've had her. I mean, I've lived more years with her than I have without her, So it's been really, really difficult. Not just me grieving personally because that was my baby, but also having pets when you lose a pet is really difficult because they grieve, and our oldest dog, Bella, was having a really difficult time. It's just been really rough around here. It's been really sad around here. It just kind of feels like we lost the soul of our house because she was just such a good cat, and she was just different. I know a lot of people say that about their pets, but she was just different. And if you've ever met her, those of you who are friends of mine, if you have met her, you know what I mean when I say she's just different. So I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. I'm just chilling, face swollen, all that good stuff, because I just kind of start crying at the drop of a hat, and I just haven't felt like doing my hair. So I do have the Juicy Curls gel in my hair, but this is day 10. And I didn't feel like rewashing my hair. I didn't feel like doing a brand new wash and go. I just slicked it back into a low puff using the Juicy Curl styling gel, and I did it very messily. I didn't even really try that hard. So yeah, so that's what's been going on. I really appreciate those of you who have been checking in on me and just showering me with love and support, because I really do need it right now. I knew I would take this hard, but nothing really prepares you for stuff like that. So yeah, I'm sorry if my energy just isn't where it usually is. It's gonna be a minute. It's gonna be a minute, okay? So let's go ahead and get into this review. This is going to be a full review and demo, and because of everything that has happened over the last week and a half, this is going to be my review over 3 weeks of using this gel. So this is going to be a very in-depth review. So if you are interested in seeing my thoughts on the Juicy Curl styling gel and see how I use it, then just keep on watching. Okay guys, I'm gonna hop right in because it is late in the day. Today, She Sent It Juicy Curls. I was cleaning my shelf down and I realized a bitch hasn't used this yet. I got it during Black Friday. This came out last year. I have yet to review it. And I was like, I want to put this shit in my head. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm going to be using the Juicy Curls Hydrating Milkshake underneath. This is lightweight, glycerin free, and nourishing. I am going to do a test in my hands just to make sure though. I actually have somewhere to be tomorrow, outside of my usual work. So I can't afford to have crusty hair. And this is just a preliminary thing. This doesn't always ensure that you won't have flakage or you won't have issues, but let's see. Okay, yeah. They mix good. As long as it's not like super cottage cheesy, or it doesn't turn into really hard, like balls in your hands. Balls. But you guys get what I'm saying. Again, this is the Juicy Curl Styling Gel. It says treat your curls right with mango, guava, banana, cherry, pineapple, grapefruit, melon. And those are all the initial ingredients that are marketed in the rest of the Juicy Curls line. This says curls need moisture and definition. Look no further. The styling gel is lightweight yet provides hold and definition. Infused with tropical botanical extracts, it gives you the juiciest curls that are shiny, non-crunchy, and touchable. It says to use, apply to wet hair, finger comb, and allow to dry. For twist outs, braid outs, apply to each damp section before twisting or braiding. I prefer not to do twist outs or braid outs with gel, so that won't apply to me. And the ingredients include a water infusion with melon, mango, guava, cherry, banana, pineapple, and grapefruit. And then there is PVP, vegetable glycerin. There is xanthan gum, beet sugar, raw honey, avocado oil, phenoxyethanol, and fragrance. So I'm really excited about this. This is humectant heavy. There's vegetable glycerin and xanthan gum. Vegetable glycerin and raw honey, but there's also PVP and xanthan gum in here. There's also some beet sugar, which I love. So this has a lot of ingredients that I typically enjoy in my hair products. So I'm going to go ahead and add the leave-in first, or the milk. And I don't want to apply too much leave-in, just because I don't want it to interfere with the gel. I also am going to be at my mom's school tomorrow, and I know they often have issues with the air conditioning. So I want to put some moisture into my hair, but I don't want to overly upset the integrity of the gel. Just because I know that there's a good chance it could be more humid in there. Can we? It's the reason why I love this so much. I'm just gonna do one, separate this in half. Gonna add water, like always. And I'm just gonna use what's in the cap. This feels a lot like the pomegranate pear, but it's also a little bit more gloopy. So it may feel like pomegranate pear, but it doesn't apply like it. Pomegranate pear, if you have it, it really weighs down and stretches out the curl, but it keeps the hair very soft. This has a lot of slip, more slip than I expected. It's not the slipperiest gel, but there's still good slip there. So not quite the jelly texture of plum nectar and agave, but I don't know, it kind of feels like a cross between plum nectar and agave and pomegranate pear. This is nice. I'm just adding this to places where I can feel are naked. y'all. Okay. All right.
Baby, I've been going nowhere lately. It's time to start all over and go for it. 'Cause they don't even know me yet. But that's something I don't regret. Every night I close my eyes and see only lavender dreams, baby. What can I do when a million things are running through? Million things I can't undo. I just sleepwalk, I just sleep talk. That's all I got. What can I say with a million things I can't erase? Million people I can't save. I just sleepwalk, I just sleep talk. Don't wanna wake up.
Okay, I'm like mildly obsessed. This looks so good. So this is my hair finished results with all of the product applied.
I don't even know what's next. But all I know is step by step. But then again, I don't wanna wait for bliss when all
I'm excited. Like I said, I didn't think that this was going to be bad. I just didn't. I really expected the application and the texture to be different. This looks so much thicker in the jar, but it's very smooth. It has slip. It's not like a jelly, but it's not like a gel. Like, it's right in between the two, but it's not like the Curl Origin gelée that they came out with earlier last year. It's not like that either. It just feels like kind of a hybrid of their bests. So I'm excited to see how my hair turns out. So far, I see lots of shine. The definition is on point, and it's not overly shiny. Like, my hair doesn't look like an oil slick. It just looks naturally shiny and soft. It's not weighing my hair down too much either. It's just kind of letting my curls lay where they are, and my hair feels really nice, soft, plump, moisturized. I definitely feel like you could probably get away with using it on its own. I don't know if I'm gonna try that before this video goes out, but it feels really moisturizing in the hands. It feels really moisturizing on the hair. I don't suspect that I'll have flaking with this, even though this does have xanthan gum in it. The way that this applied, like, it does not apply like something that is really heavy with xanthan gum. And if you've used a lot of really heavy xanthan gum based gels, you know what I mean. Like, there's just a feeling that they have to them. And as soon as you put it on and it starts to dry, you just know your hair is gonna flake. This doesn't feel like that. But yeah, I'll be back. Okay, y'all, so this is day one. I went ahead and stretched it out. I just used my silk scrunchies and just stretched it out that way. And she feels really good. I have these weird pieces in the back that are like hanging kind of funny because I still have yet to get my hair cut. But yeah, day one was nice, really soft. You could still feel the hold and it was great. And it pretty much looked like this on day two as well. Day three was when I started having trouble. I just woke up and all of the luster was kind of gone. It was getting really stiff. I had a similar experience with the African Pride gel, and this kind of is giving me that vibe. I wasn't really a fan by this point, and I figured that by the next day it was probably going to start looking a little funky. So instead I decided to rewash and use different products. So this is day one, stretched, but instead of the original combo, I use this with the curling syrup from the Plum Nectar and Agave line. So I still have lots of shine, lots of softness. It's a little bit crunchier because obviously both products are a jelly texture, but my hair still has lots of moisture. And it held up better than I thought it would. This was the day that we had to go take care of family business, so I I didn't do much to it because we were kind of in a rush, just trying to get the family together. But so I just left it unstretched. It did shrink back up, but that's okay. And then this is, I think it's day 4. At this point, like, I'm just kind of losing track of time. But it still held up really well. And just for reference, on day 2, I did get caught in the rain. And I think it still looks pretty good considering that I got caught in the rain, got home, and just let it air dry and put it back in the bonnet. And then it pretty much stayed in the bonnet the whole day on day 5. Day 5 was a rough day. And then we're back to day 6. I'm getting ready to go out, and I just really like heavily fluffed it out and picked it out. I wanted that mix of like frizz and definition. But yeah, I think this held up better than the initial one. Okay, so that was the demo and the days after. So for full context, I filmed that initial demo maybe like 3 weeks ago. So I have continued to use this gel as my sole styler for the last 3 weeks in preparation for doing this video. This wasn't supposed to be like a, I tried this for so long video, but it ended up having to be that. So let's talk about my initial thoughts and then just some of the things that I've tried down the line using this, and then we'll kind of wrap this up. So in the initial demo, I did pair this with the Juicy Curls Hydrating Milkshake. This is lightweight, glycerin free, and nourishing. Now they do have a leave-in in this collection. There's the milkshake, and then there is the leave-in in this collection. I'm not a big fan of the leave-in personally. It didn't do a lot for my hair. So this is the one that I kept out of the Juicy Curls collection. I prefer this one. That's what I used. They mixed beautifully together. I haven't tested the leave-in with this, but knowing she sent it, they probably do mix well together. I feel like whenever they do come out with companion stylers down the line, I feel like they do a good job of making sure that the styler mixes with what is already in the collection. Initial like application and everything, I really enjoyed. This right here feels like, upon application, this feels like what I would imagine it would feel like to take this and mesh them together and create a new gel. It's not quite as slippery and custardy as the Plum Nectar and Agave, and I have videos on both of these stylers, but it is not quite as thick as this. So even though they may look similar in the jar, and initially I was expecting it to apply like the pomegranate pear, it does not apply like exactly like either one. So although they may look similar in the jar, the actual application on the hair is very different. This definitely has more slip than the pomegranate pear or the macadamia fixing gel, but it's not quite as slippery as Plum Nectar and Agave. It's not quite that full-on custard texture. So initial application was beautiful. It applied so smoothly. It made my curls feel really juicy. It added a little bit of elongation to my hair, not quite as much as this one does. If you see me apply this, you know, like it kind of like stretches the curls when you apply it. So that one doesn't quite do that, but it doesn't give you that like really like heavy, tight, extra like definition curl that like a custard would give you. So it truly is like right in the middle of those two types of products, if that makes sense. And the way that you saw my hair before I got off to go let it dry under the dryer is basically how it dried. This dried with the perfect mix of elongation, definition, shine, bounce. It wasn't super duper voluminous, but it was voluminous enough. I think I did stretch it in like the first day or two. First day was beautiful, shiny, soft. You can still feel the cast though. And what I noticed about this gel in particular is that while it is very slippery and it feels like it's on the brink of being a custardy type product. The hold on this is not quite as flexible as this, but it's not a super like lightweight, fluffy, soft hold the way that this is either. It has just enough flexibility for it to not be that super hard, tacky, crunchy gel situation. It's just enough flexibility for this to work in my hair is basically what I'm saying. But there is a level of firmness to this that tops what you get with plum nectar and agave, or even like the honey and hibiscus from Curl Origin. All the gels from Curl Origin, like this has way more firmness to it, so it's not quite as flexible. And what I did notice over the days, like I would say once I got to like day 4, I noticed that I really lost a lot of the shine of this gel. My hair got a little bit stiff. It wasn't, you know, as free-flowing and like still glossy. You know, like when I use this, my hair just looks better and better and better over the days. It just looks more pillowy, it looks softer, but it still has that cast because it's flexible. And I feel like that's one thing that a lot of people don't differentiate when it comes to reviewing stylers, is that like, yeah, it's cool if a product has crunch, but for me, just because a product has crunch doesn't mean it's going to last me days and days and days. For me, it can have crunch, but is it flexible? Because that flexible hold is going to allow that product to continue to adhere to my strands even after I've fluffed it and picked it and all that good stuff. It's still in my hair. It's still doing what it needs to do. It's still keeping the curls intact, and it doesn't make my hair look gunky or gross or weird over the days. Because this lacks some flexibility, I find that this does, in a way, do what some stronger hold gels do with my hair when it comes to wash and goes, and that is kind of turn a little bit dull and turn a little bit stiff going into like day 3 or 4. For reference, a gel that I really enjoy, the African Pride gel, that does that to me. It's beautiful, but I just kind of lose a lot of the shine, and I lose a lot of the flexibility that I had in like day 1 or day 2 when it comes to a gel like that. I had the same experience with this, and I was a little disappointed because it looked so good in the first like day or 2. So initially, like I said, I used the Hydrating Milkshake, and they do pair beautifully. And this, like up to day 3, my wash and go was bomb. But I did decide that I wanted to try using this with something else just to see if I could get what it looked like on day 1 to last longer. So what I did, off camera, I just kind of got a wild hair. I was like, I'll try it. If it works, great. And if it doesn't, that's fine too. And so I went in, redid my wash day process, cleansed, deep conditioned, all that good stuff. And instead of using the Hydrating Milkshake as my base, I used the Plum Nectar and Agave Curling Syrup as my base. So this is their Curl Defining Oil Serum with plum extract, sunflower seed, and agave. Now, I don't think I've ever done a full review of this on the channel. I think when I initially reviewed the Plum Nectar and Agave collection, I just used like the rest of the base products. I may have talked about this briefly as a curl refresher, because usually that's what I use this one for, because it does have a higher oil content in it in comparison to some of the other serums that I have in my collection. But I wanted to keep everything in brand. So I applied this to my soaking wet hair in sections, and then I went back through and applied this on top like you always see me do. So one thing I always enjoy about using some type of serum product for my wash and go is that when you apply something like this, you automatically don't have to use as much gel. Because there's so much slip in products like this, you really can cut down about like to half of what you usually use when you're applying something like this with like a regular like leave-in conditioner, a creamy leave-in conditioner. So these two meshed beautifully. This one applies like very smoothly. This is one of the few like serums that I have that doesn't really like foam up a little bit when you apply it to the hair. If you use like serum-y products like this, you know what I mean. This one goes on a little bit more smoothly just because of that higher oil content. Adds lots of shine, adds tons of definition, and then this applied like butter on top. I allowed it to dry the same way I allowed the first round to dry. So I just let it air dry for about 20-25 minutes and then sat underneath my hooded dryer to finish the drying process. And that is the wash and go that I have in my hair now. So you can see, like, even though, yeah, this wash and go is hella old, I've slept on it, I haven't really been taking care of it, there's still a lot of definition and there's still a lot of shine to it. But I mean, I just had, the top of my head was all fuzzy because I've been sleeping with it just in a bun, all out, all that good stuff. I haven't been taking care of my hair like I should. So I just went ahead and slicked it back and put it back into this. So even though I didn't use a creamy leave-in situation, I still have great moisture in my hair. My hair is soft. I can still feel the hold of the gel, and of course you're going to feel that a little bit more because technically you have two like gelling products in your hair. But I found that this combination gave me a much better result over the days than using the hydrating milkshake. So with the hydrating milkshake, it looked bomb from like day 1 to day 3, and then it started to like lose the luster and it started to get a little bit more compact, and it was lacking movement once it got to like day 3 to day 4 and day 5. With these two together, I didn't have that problem. It just continued to swell over the days. I still had shine, I still had volume, my hair still looked beautiful, and it didn't lack any of its movement. It didn't get stiff over the days, it didn't get gunky or nasty over the days. So I personally prefer using this with this. Honestly, with the way this feels, you probably could get away with using it by itself. This has really great ingredients. So I feel like this is one of those gels that you could totally use it by itself if you really wanted to. If I had to like give it a rating out of like 5 stars, I would say that this is like a 4 out of 5 stars for me. The application is stellar. It really does leave your hair feeling nice and moisturized and soft, even though it does provide a relatively firm hold. It's not an extra strong hold, but it is relatively firm. It does not beat out my favorites. I still prefer my Plum Nectar and Agave, and for certain looks, I still prefer my pomegranate pear. That's just me. But I do feel like this absolutely 100% has a solid place in my collection, and I think they did a great job with it. It's a really nice styler, and my hair has been really happy with it over the days. I will also say that like this doesn't necessarily do it for me as a gel to like lay down my hair. Like it looks really good and it's doing fine, but it is just a little, it's not tacky enough for me to be the best gel to lay my hair down with. And it holds a lot of moisture, so there are a lot of pieces of my hair that are still wet, even though I like put this in the style like a couple of hours ago. Like the back of my head is still damp from the gel. So yeah, that is it for this video. Like I said, I apologize because my energy is just not all the way there, and it's not going to be there for a while, but I wanted to get this video out. I didn't want to forget that I filmed this because sometimes I do that. So yeah, you guys let me know, have you tried the Juicy Curls gel and what did you think of it? I know like the Juicy Curls collection is like one of those collections that's kind of like 50-50 for people. Some people really, really love it and some people really, really don't. Y'all know in general, my hair just likes She Scented products. So 9 times out of 10, if they make it, I'ma buy it and I'ma like it, you know? It's just varying degrees of how much I like it, right? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love y'all so much, to the moon and back. Again, thank you guys so much for all the love and support, because it has definitely been needed. Y'all are the best, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.